since the last video, I have semi-completed my kitchen, but we'll include that in the next vlog because there are a few other things I want to show you today, and I realised that the last vlog pretty much was all taken up by me reorganising my kitchen, and then I wanted to do a little bit of thinking in between before I made final decisions about where I put stuff. So in this vlog, I actually want to show you a little bit of what I got up to while my mum was here, because my mum has just left this morning, and tell you all some big news about the reason behind why I gave all my ceramics to my mum. But as that's a little bit of a sit-downy tell you chat, I'm going to save that for the end of the video. And to begin with, I want to show you right now what we did, a few little clips from our week, but this morning what I'm going to be doing, which is basically resetting my home after my mum being here. But here are the clips. So there are some snippets from the last bit of week that my mum's been here, and now it's time to reset my space, which involves changing my bedding and also something a little bit new, which I treated myself to as a minimalist, because I'll tell you all why. So I'm going to quickly make the bed and show you. And just like that, the bed was made. So recently I have got some black faux silk pillowcases, and largely that is because it has been very humid in the UK with this recent heat wave, and as you can see, it's creating all kinds of frizzy problems with my hair. So also it's very, very nice for your skin and very cooling in this hot weather. So we're enjoying having these faux silk pillowcases on, but that wasn't the new thing that I was talking about. The new thing is this. So you may all remember, because Zala does, that we had this cushion cover. It used to be white, and then when we got Zala and we learnt that she sheds a lot, I dyed it grey, because like everything else in the property that is white, I thought the hairs are going to stick to this, and perhaps grey will just hide that situation a little bit more, because you can't be going over your bedding every day with a lint roller. It's just not realistic. And in those in-between days where I don't do that, I don't want it to look like there's hairs everywhere. So I dyed it grey. I had another one that was white. I had two, and the other one was white with bits of green flecks in it. That is the one that I attempted to dye black, but it went black but with a slight hue of navy. And if I'm honest, I just wasn't happy about that. I wanted it to be black and white, monochrome, like the other accents in the room. So I have treated myself as a minimalist to this. And yes, it's white and black, but what I learned is that for some reason, this fabric actually doesn't attract Zala's shedding hair. And I think it's because it's a very thick cotton, almost like canvas. For whatever reason, her hairs aren't sticking to it, so I can actually go back to having one like this. Now the question remains, which one will I have? Because I obviously only need one on the bed at a time. So what I'm actually thinking of doing is having this as the one that's out on the bed. But as you all know, I have a slight back problem. And I've learned that one of the best positions for somebody with a back problem is to use a cushion, a bit like some people use a pregnancy pillow, to have between your knees as you are sleeping. Could I do that with the other one? Yes. But I suppose if this one doesn't get as dirty as easily because it's grey, it makes more sense to use this one and keep washing this one, whereas this one won't need washing as often then if it's just being used as a kind of bolster cushion. Because for us, because we only have two small rooms in our apartment, we do sit in our bedroom a lot. And even though now we have the padded backrest, because we have the Japanese thick tatami pillows, we do kind of need an extra, at least one extra cushion to bolster ourselves when we come in here to watch the projector. Because when me and my partner Johnny are alone, we do come in here to watch the projector, and it's only when my mum is here that we all go through there where there's more seating. So we do kind of really need one bolster cushion in here. So I'm going to put this on the bed and we will see what the new little room looks like with the black and white cushion. Zala is very interested in these tassels. We're going to have to watch her. What do you think, Zala? Do you like it? Do you like it, darling? Yeah. So one of the things that I've been doing for the last, actually over a week that my mum's been here, is we have been plotting and scheming together, my mum, with our diaries, about what we're going to do, when we're going to do it, who's looking after the dogs when I'm going to go help my mum with a project that I'm about to tell you about, and all that. As you can see, it's looking very bare and minimal up here because for quite some time I have been thinking, when Johnny and I do eventually leave this place, who will I give all my beautiful ceramics to? We also have a slight fly in the ointment in that our oven has just broken. Well, you may all remember a while back that I got rid of our air fryer and various other things. So my mum and I used our last meeting up, i.e. the one that's just gone because she has just left this morning, to swap a few things back and forth, stuff that she doesn't need anymore because of her new project, things I might need back because that has broken. And so we have been given the air fryer back, but we think that given the new set of circumstances, it might not be appropriate. So just for now, it's kind of sitting in our hallway while we decide what to do about it. But my mum has taken all of our crockery, just about, because it might be time to finally downsize some of that. Not all of it, because I want our home to still look nice for when my mum's here. I want there to be practical things, but some things I don't need, and I might as well give it to my mum now where it is needed. So what I'm deciding about before the next video is whether I actually want my canisters up here or whether I actually want to thrift some kind of large bowl where I keep the veg. because to me that is practical. I've got my fruit bowl and my veg bowl, and some of you may know you shouldn't really put onions and things next to fruit because it makes it decay faster. So I'm thinking about just having that as two nice aesthetic bowls that are also practical, because I like to be practical, but I also like my home to look nice. Now, I feel like now might be the time to reveal what my mum is doing, as these vlogs get long quite fast. So, my mum, as some of you may know, if you are not new, if you are new, welcome, has in the last 2 years had quite a roller coaster ride, which indirectly means I do, because we're very, very close. So my nana passed away about nearly 2 years ago now, which meant when my mum first bought her little cottage in France to do up, she just wasn't ready to go. She wanted to spend what she knew was the last bit of time she had on this earth with her mum, my nana, and it meant that everything got postponed for 1 year. And then after that 1 year, we found Zala. We literally found her in the street and rescued her. And it's taken quite some time to help her grow up, help train her a bit. She still needs a little bit of help. She's still having a few issues with children. She's very, very scared of children. Sorry guys, I got distracted. Sorry guys, I got distracted by a horsefly there, because we have a lot of them at the coast, and if they bite you, you know about it. They're horrible. I think I have successfully managed to kill it in the corner, but I'm just watching it out of the corner of my eye. It's the only thing I kill. I release everything else, but they are nasty. And it's weird, when you try and catch them, they actually, you know, like in a glass, they jump on you and try and run in your hair and bite you. Not a problem I want to have, I'm afraid. So I'm hoping it's soon gonna do things over there. Anyway, what was I saying? My mum, she basically realised that she's unfortunately had the Schengen visa denied twice to go to France. She's been constantly applying over the last 6 months, and it means that she can only go for 3 months to France at a time, and then she has to leave for 3 months before she can go back. It's causing all kinds of logistical problems for her. What it means for us is that when she has to come back, it means that she can look after Zala and we can take long vacations. We're not leaving Zala for 3 months, I think some of you have gathered that, but we can have a bit of time where we travel, then we all coexist together in this space, which admittedly is quite difficult because it's very small, but we all get on and we all make do, and we sometimes rearrange how we do things so that everybody can have their own bit of space, sort of take it in turns to have space in the bedroom, and other people are communal in the living room. But we know that long term it isn't going to work. So because she's finally had this second visa denied, and we just don't know whether at this point it's ever going to be possible, I actually suggested doing something that I have been considering for quite a couple of years myself. And that is that because house prices are drastically rising in the UK, or in some cases they're dropping, but the cost of living is rising, so people just can't afford them, I have been considering for a number of years my backup plan if we don't find our cabin in the woods and we can't get a visa, because who's to say we can if my mum can't, is to have a houseboat here in the UK. And we live half the year in the houseboat and half the year in our cabin in the woods if we can't live there all the time because of the visas. So I suggested this to my mum. My mum doesn't have any attachments at the moment. She is retired, so she doesn't have to wait for things like working contracts like my partner Johnny does to end. Long story short, she has bought a houseboat. So she's now got a houseboat, a cottage in France, and land in Greece with planning permission for tiny homes. These are all projects that we are waiting to do. But nothing happens quickly if you are living in a real world. But my mum does need the houseboat thing to happen quickly, because currently she has nowhere to live other than visiting a house that needs a lot of work doing on it, or sharing with us. She don't want to put any more money into rent, as perhaps many of us don't want to, because it's kind of wasted money, isn't it? So she's just bought the houseboat. It is also in need of work, but needs less work than the home in France. So she is currently, that's where she's going. So she needs really, because you all saw her a few videos back a few months ago, downsize from a house which was 4-bedroomed to a tiny little micro apartment. And now with what she had remaining, because it was logistically too hard to get all of it to France or Greece, she knew it would just be easier to sell it or give it away and re-get things when she goes there. But there is the odd thing now that she's going to have a base here that is easy. It's only sort of a 4 or 5 hour drive for her. So she has taken some things that I know that she needs more than us. So that is why I decided to give her basically all my crockery. I've even, as you might have saw in the clips from earlier, decided to give her my stock pot pan, my big 1-pot pan, because although I love it, I won't need it for at least 6 months. We're very hot here, which is why I bought the stainless steel sort of big 1-cook pan. And if we rebuy one in the winter, I am going to get a slightly smaller one. I definitely want it to be big to be able to bake bread in it, but it's kind of pointless at the moment anyway because our oven doesn't work and I don't know how long our landlord will take to repair it. Although he is a very good landlord, I still don't know how long it will take him to repair it. So it's kind of redundant to us. So for the meantime, I've given that to my mum. And if I'm honest, because I think mine was 6 litre, I think next time I might go for 5 or 4 litre because I still want it to be big for making bread and I still want to make a big portion of stew and things because Johnny can eat a lot. He does a very laborious job. He's very hungry when he comes home. So I still need it to be big, but maybe just not quite as big. So we've given her the crock pot thing, whatever you want to call it, the Dutch oven. We've given her all the cups. We've given her practically everything because she now has kind of 3 homes to at least have a little bit of stuff in. She doesn't want to fill it with stuff, but she wants some stuff in it. And her theme for her boat is going to be sage green. It's not even my mum's favourite colour. I think my mum's favourite colour is purple. But she quite likes sage green and she said she thinks it's appropriate because it is on the water. And we're thinking of it as being like a lily pad. That's the theme for the boat, that it's like a lily pad floating on the water and it's tranquil like a lotus flower just sitting there. But guys, it is completely bare. It's a shell. It's a shell of a boat at the moment. But I am going to show you all before and after pictures when we go down around October. Around October, we're going to go down to see my mum. It's harder for me and Johnny to go to my mum than her to come here because at the moment we don't have a vehicle of any description and it's about £200 on the train. But for my mum to come to us, she obviously does have a vehicle. She can drive, or because my mum is classed as retired in the UK, the train fare for her is only £40. She gets a reduction. But we are making the effort to go see her in October. Johnny's going to help her with a bit of stuff with him being a carpenter. And we're going to have a little holiday on the houseboat, or narrowboat as we say here, because it is a little bit more mobile. So that's the plan for what we're doing there. So you know that all my stuff has been given over to a nice project. And expect to see me and Johnny on there a lot because what I actually think I foresee happening is that we all kind of share the base in the UK while we go off to various places eventually. So that's kind of the gist. Anyway, I know that this video is getting long again. I'm trying to keep them sort of under 20 minutes. So in the next video, I'm going to show you a bit more of what I have done around the home to kind of reorganise things after I've kind of had this big declutter of giving quite a lot of things to my mum for her houseboat. Hope you all enjoyed this video. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!